Hey guys, welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 video. In today's video we have a brand new leak for Warzone 2 and this one's actually really cool. So this popped up earlier today. This popped up over on the COD Warzone subreddit and got picked up by a couple places, but by and large it's still kind of hidden, within the community. Not a lot of people have talked about this yet, but this is huge, and as you guys saw by the title, this is for a new Resurgence map within Warzone 2 has been leaked. So before we go any further, I want to explain here. You guys are probably going to be getting a little bit of deja vu from this, and this is because this video was actually uploaded late last night, and it was up on the channel for about 6 hours before it actually got taken down. So if you guys already saw this video, great, thank you for watching it. But if you're only watching it now, okay, here is why. Here's the explanation behind it. So the reason why it was only up for about 6 hours is because this video was actually taken down. It was up, it was doing great and everything, and then early this morning I got an email, and YouTube notified me that Activision had actually removed the video from YouTube, and it also issued a copyright strike on my channel. So that is just fantastic. If you know much about that, you know that that's just, amazing, and I'm so glad that, had happened, even though I did not show anything inside this video of any of the actual content. So yeah, that's fun. So I'm going to do my best to get this video back up, and hopefully if you guys are seeing this, then hey, it worked. So this video will have some changes to it in order to make sure that this does not happen again. But yeah, I mean, there was no actual footage shown in that original video, and there is no footage shown in this video, so I don't know how Activision picked that up. They must have actually watched the video. So if Activision, if you're watching, why? Please don't take this video down. Like, come on, dude, this sucks. Like, bro, come on, man. But yeah, for the rest of you guys, thank you all for tuning in and watching this video, and I'm going to let the rest of it play out. So the way this one was leaked is actually kind of cool. This literally, like I said, it came from the COD Warzone subreddit, and on the subreddit, the guy who made the post literally said that he found this image, and then he got all this information from a Call of Duty Facebook group. And he posted an image. The title of his post was "Taken from a COD Facebook group, potentially the new Resurgence map." And now I can't show you guys the actual image here, right? I learned my lesson a couple months ago, earlier in the summer. I got a couple of copyright strikes here on my channel, actually, which is really bad. And if you get enough of those, your channel gets terminated. So I've learned my lesson on that, and so I won't be posting any of this stuff in the videos. It's kind of interesting though. So what we have here is in the top left of this image, it says modes. It says supported game modes: Resurgence with about 50 players, 1x Ground War Arena, which is 24v24, as well as DMZ. So this won't be like full-on Battle Royale. This won't be like full-on Warzone, where, you have like 150 players. Instead, it'll be Resurgence, where you have 50. So Resurgence is where, if you die, you actually just get to come back, within a time limit. There's not a gulag, you don't have to buy your teammates back or whatever. You can just come back. And now, looking at the map, people themselves, they've made, like jokes about this, looking like some of those like play, you guys remember those rugs you used to have as a kid you'd have on your floor, and it had like the layout of the city on it and stuff like that? That's what they say it looks like. But some of the key locations on this map, up in the top right, we have Shipwreck, which there's 2 ships that are like almost like ran aground, and there's like a beach area. We have Residential, which is to the left of that, kind of the top center of the map. The almost the center of the map, we have Castle. On the right side of that, the right middle of the map, we have Port, which is pretty big area. Right below that, we have the Industrial Ruins, and then below that, in the bottom right, we have the Beach Club. Now in the bottom center of it, we have the town center. Above that, we got the power plant, so that's right next to the castle. As well as above the castle, we have residential, and then to the left of that, we have water treatment. Below that is apartments, and then on the far left side of the map, we have greenhouses. So kind of interesting. People have pointed out that this is kind of reminds them of that sniping mission from the campaign, where you have like the lighthouses and stuff. Like, it kind of reminds people of that, where it's like kind of like that map, but just without the lighthouse and stuff. So honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if not necessarily if the map literally came from that mission, but if a lot of the elements were inspired by that. They reused a lot of textures and a lot of the buildings and stuff like that. Like, we'll say like the greenhouses, okay, that makes sense. Power plant, stuff like that, water treatment, like, yeah, okay, that all kind of makes sense. Same thing with kind of like the port and stuff too. So yeah, But then there's, of course, just water surrounding it all. Every Battle Royale map is like an island. So, You know, there's a bunch of water around, but there's no like rivers or nothing going through it. There's just a bunch of roads and stuff, and then there's a lot of green in the you know, between all these areas and stuff. So really interesting. I mean, interesting look at the map. It's not a very big map. People are saying that it's probably going to be about the same size as about Fortune's Keep, which would be interesting. But yeah, I'm curious about this, because if this new map is leaked and you know, they have like apparently like an image of what the map is supposed to look like and stuff, like obviously it's in development. I'm sure they've got multiple maps in development for Warzone 2, you know, and they're not just sitting around doing nothing right now. They're obviously, you know, working on updates for Warzone 2, as well as, you know, working on new maps and stuff, new modes, everything for the new game, you know, because it just barely launched, and so that's how all these development cycles work. But they say here, I mean, there's 3 modes for this. You know, like they said, Resurgence with about 50 players, Ground War, and DMZ. So Resurgence makes the most sense, okay, just kind of like Fortune's Keep or like Rebirth in the original Warzone. But then Ground War, okay, hey, that also makes sense. You know, you could also leverage this into a, you know, a content section for multiplayer. You know, you can advertise this in the new season, like, hey, we have a new Ground War map. And as well as DMZ. You know, DMZ has actually proven to be very popular within the community these last couple weeks. Upon launch, you know, it wasn't incredibly popular. It was kind of so-so. But recently, it has kind of taken off quite a bit. Even though it's still technically in beta, I've seen so many people talk about this, even just casual players and people I work with. People are like, bro, you know, I was playing DMZ last night, and I honestly, like, the more I talk to people, the more people I find actually are playing DMZ more than are playing actual Warzone. So I don't know, take with that what you will, but it is interesting. You know, also, how's DMZ going to work on a map like this? I mean, obviously you can't have the same number of teams, so it's probably going to be a smaller version of DMZ, but I think that's fine. Another thing with DMZ being so popular recently is that it's kind of sucked, because then, you know, I feel like you have way more people in each lobby, and people are now like camping out all the extraction sites and stuff. So it is kind of a double-edged sword. The first couple days when DMZ first came out, it was super fun. Now it's still fun, but it can be a little bit more frustrating than it was. But yeah, I don't know. This new map and everything looks pretty cool. As for when this one will actually release, you know, it's basically anybody's guess from here. I personally don't think that we're gonna get a new map until at least like Season 3. So I wouldn't expect a new map until like March, maybe April of next year. Like, honestly, I think we're going to be stuck with Al Mazrah for a while. Now, there is still talk that we're going to be getting another Warzone 2 map here coming soon with Las Almas. That was leaked, as well as, you know, also we got a lot of hints and stuff coming from the campaign. Plus, the entire map is basically in the game, essentially. But yeah, I mean, like, we also have it as part of like Ground War and stuff, so it's pretty obvious that like Las Almas is going to be the next Warzone map. But, you know, it also makes sense. Okay, you know, they're obviously working on a full-blown new Warzone map, but then they're also going to be working on Resurgence, too, which is also a little surprising to me because of how they've treated Warzone 1. You know, how ever since Warzone 2.0 came out, is that they've kind of just, like, given the shaft to Warzone 1. You know, they took away Rebirth, they took away Fortune's Keep, and they also made it so it's only Caldera. That's the only mode you can play now, is playing on Caldera, playing the full Battle Royale. So it's kind of unfortunate for like legacy players who only liked, you know, say Resurgence. They like to play on the smaller maps. But I mean, currently in Call of Duty, there is no small maps for Battle Royale. You know, you can't play on any small maps, whether it be Warzone 1 or even in Warzone 2. So it kind of makes sense that, yeah, eventually they're going to want to put a new Resurgence map in to keep the community alive. But also, I'm still wondering. I'm just like, wait a minute, dude. I'm obviously they're trying to put out a new Resurgence map, but also I still think, why not add Fortune's Keep back into Warzone 2.0? Like, what was so wrong with that? I mean, to me, that seems like a colossal waste of resources for them to develop an entire new map, and they released Fortune's Keep in what, June of this year, and they've only had it in the game for 6 months, not even 6 months, like 5-6 months, and then they just removed it, and they, you know, are not going to be adding it back into Warzone 1.0. So it's like, you really developed a map just to have it out for 6 months and then that was it? Like, I mean, at least with, like, you know, other Call of Duty games and stuff, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, you release a game and the game is out for a year before the new one comes out, but, I mean, technically you can still go back and play the old game. You know, they never did this where they took away content in a previous game. But still kind of interesting though. I always thought, I'm like, okay, it makes sense for them to, you know, put out Fortune's Keep. They're going to put out Fortune's Keep for Warzone 1, and then eventually they're going to add it into Warzone 2.0 as some content. So potentially we could see that. Are we going to see Rebirth added in later too? You know, we don't know. There's no leaks or nothing about that. But like I said, we do have leaks here about this new Resurgence map, as well as the new Las Almas map as well. So like I said, any time for this to come out, anybody's guess. Like I said, I wouldn't expect anything before probably about March or April. Anything before that, honestly, would kind of be a big surprise for me. I don't think they're going to get anything ready for Season 2. I think Season 2 is just going to be more updates and stuff, probably a lot of quality of life stuff, and maybe some changes to Al Mazrah. But for them to add in an entire new map when Season 2 comes out, I highly doubt that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What do you guys think about this? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I can't share this image, but of course, like I said, you know, YouTube and Activision has been cracking down on this. It's also interesting, too, talking about this because Charlie Intel put out a tweet going alongside this too. The tweet they put out is they say there's an image floating around reportedly showing a look at the Resurgence map for Warzone 2.0. We are not sharing it directly due to potential DMCA/copyright, but the map appears to be smaller than Rebirth and will have DMZ support based on the leaked image. Okay, and then we also kind of know that this is legit, so this is the reason I'm reporting on this, is because it's pretty much almost confirmed at this point. You know, this is usually how these Call of Duty leaks go. It's because Activision has actually taken down a bunch of these images that are being shared and stuff. So, like, if you reshare this image on Twitter, yeah, you're going to get hit with a ban hammer, and they're going to go whoop, and they're going to just take the image down off your account, and you're probably going to get a strike and a little bit like a temporary ban from Twitter or whatever. So, yeah, whenever Activision does that, it means that, you know, it's legitimate, and that is something they don't want published. But it's like whenever they do that, it's almost just confirming it. It's just like, oh, hey, you know, like people are saying like, oh, this looks like fan-made. But then why would Activision like copyright strike a fan-made thing? You know, they have like never done this in the past, and like everything that they do is for this reason. Like earlier this summer, we had a lot of leaks and stuff about Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 coming from within COD Mobile, and of course all that stuff got DMCA'd because Activision is like, nope, we own all this content and we don't want it shared. And of course they own this content as well, and they don't want it shared, so that's why they're taking it down. So like I said, you know, it pretty much confirms it at this point, but still take it a little bit with a grain of salt here, because we don't know when this will come out, or maybe, you know, there's still a possibility this will never come out. Maybe it'll be like the Earl Mountains map that you're supposed to get for Warzone 1 when Black Ops Cold War launched, which never ended up actually releasing. Now, there's apparently ways, and there's videos of people actually getting in and playing on that map, which is actually pretty cool. I want to try and do that for myself, maybe post a video about that, because that'd be really interesting. But yeah, so I mean, you know, who's to say? But just, you know, here is a new leak. Yeah, just kind of want to get some discussion going. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.